Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing an analysis on prospect capital. So this was recommended by someone in the comments, so let's get into it now. So starting off with the PE ratio, it's currently at a 3.37, which is good to see as you ideally want to see the PE be 20 or less. This is something important to look at because it shows you how risky the investment will be. They're currently offering a yield at 8.30%, which is really high. A high dividend yield may not always be a good sign since the company is returning so much of its profits to its investors rather than growing the company. This is something we'll have to discover as we look more into the company. Getting into their income statement now, let's take a look at their revenue. So as of the most recent year, they're bringing in 639.5 million, which is up almost 35 million from 5 years ago. It's nice to see that they're up over the past 5 years, but I don't like how it technically isn't any higher than it was in 2018. Now moving into the net income, it looks a little weird to me. So these 2 years they had nice little increases. Then it got followed up by a decrease. Then it went negative. But now the most recent year it jumped up to 963 million, which is good I guess, but I can't see them being able to do better than that anytime soon. The last thing to look at on the income statement is the shares outstanding. So this is something you want to see decrease. The more it goes up, the less your shares are worth. So as you can see, they've been doing nothing but issuing more every year. So this is typical to see with stocks with high dividend yields. From my understanding, this is a main factor in why their yield is so high. So having a good dividend payout essentially always comes at a cost, and it's typically an increase of shares outstanding. If I'm wrong with this, please correct me in the comments below. Taking a look at their balance sheet and their assets and liabilities. So as of right now, they have 6.3 billion in assets, which is good, but I don't like how the 3 years before they had 3 consecutive decreases. Next, with their liabilities though, um, one good thing to notice is that they've had more assets and liabilities for all of the past 5 years. So they've been pretty steady with this and are down from the past couple years, which is nice. The last and one of the most important aspects to look at in any company is the free cash flow. So cash flow is important because companies that have a lot of money on hand have the advantage of being able to pay off any debt, invest into future growth, or pay dividends. So this is clearly something you need to see be improved on year after year. In the case of Prospect Capital, it's really not good to see this be decreasing as they're offering such a premium of a dividend. A company that is decreasing its cash flow every year like this and offering such a high yield isn't healthy, or at least healthy enough to the point where you want to invest into it as a value play. In conclusion, Prospect Capital does not have the most attractive financials. If you're looking for nothing but a good dividend, I guess this is okay, but off the top of my head, I would recommend Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF or Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF over this company. Some criticism I want to give is I want to see them improve on their net income, and I'd also like to see them buy back shares at some point, but the chances of that ever happening with this company is pretty low. When it comes to the balance sheet, it's not too bad. So down the line, it would be nice to see the assets grow more consistently. Then the last thing is the free cash flow. You shouldn't be investing into a company that has such a high dividend with a crappy cash flow. Two things I want to mention before I end the video is my trading strategy is centered around finding value in a company. If I don't see consistent growth in most or all the companies I cover, then I tend to stay away. Secondly, I also want to point out that I am not a financial advisor. I am just a guy speaking my opinion on stuff on YouTube, so I highly recommend doing more research before coming to the conclusion of buying or selling any stock that I talk about. If you guys have any companies you want me to take a look at, feel free to comment them down below. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching and have a nice day.